A good morning to you all. I'm Dr. N. Rajashree, Assistant Professor of Economics, Pingil Government College for Women, Vadapalli, Warangal. In today's class, you're going to learn about institutional changes. Okay, what are the changes in land reforms? And the objectives of this session is the nature of institutional structure, the need for the land reforms, various aspects of land reforms, and limitations of land reforms. The introduction part, the direct intervention by the government to bring about a change in institutional structure is termed as land reforms. So what is this land reform? So when there is a direct intervention by the government, then that structure is called as land reform. In rural areas, if you see, the land is a principal source of livelihood for the majority of the people, rural people. But the land is in the hands of microscopic section of rural households. So you can remember the fruits from the land are generally enjoyed by a small segment of landlords, and the majority of the rural people receive wage incomes by working as agricultural laborers. Majority of the people, those who are working, they are under laborers only, agricultural laborers. So we can see that this implies that the presence of inequalities in asset distribution in rural areas. So here there is an inequality. The small and the marginal farmers are there. Okay, the holdings are the holding differs, and the single small farmer, the holding is below 2 acres, and the big farmers, the holdings are more than 2 acres. So there is an inequality in asset distribution. So you can remember at the time of independence in Indian agriculture, one can find the feudal land relations and the exploitation of tenants by charging high rates of rent by the landlords. So fixing the rent arbitrarily, frequent eviction of the tenants were prevalent. So in order to ensure equitable distribution of land among the rural people and also to protect the tenants from undue exploitation, what the government has done, the government has initiated a change. A change has to take place in institutional setup itself. Okay, which was inherited from the colonial rule in the form of land reform program. So immediately after the independence, some changes have taken place. Then what are the issues in land reforms? Okay, the first one is abolition of intermediaries. This is an issue because prior to independence, the land tenure system was characterized by the feudal land relations only. So under the permanent settlement, the landlords acquired the right to collect rent on the large tracts of land by acting as intermediaries between the tenants and also the British rulers. So remember, they used to charge a very high rates of interest, high rates of rent and exploited the tenants. So here, after the independence, with a view to protect the tenants from the clutches of landlord intermediaries, the government has abolished the zemindari and also the jagidari system, which was there during that period, of course, by paying a huge amount towards the compensation. They used to pay that. So the first issue was what? Abolition of intermediaries. They used to collect high rates of rents and they exploited the tenants. So there was a big problem for the people, for the farmers, those who pay the rents. Then the next issue was what? Tenancy reforms. So here the tenancy reforms consist of what? Regulation of rent, security to tenure, and the conferment of ownership rights. So here you can remember in tenancy reforms, we have these three. What is this regulation of rent? You have to remember the prior to independence, tenants cultivate a given piece of land as long as they enjoy the confidence of the landlord, charging the high rates of rent, fixing the rent arbitrarily. So the here compulsory collection of rent, even in times of crop failure also, they used to collect. The frequent evictions were there by the order of the day. So try to remember in this, landlords were interested in collecting the rent and completely they ignored the land development aspects itself. They don't want to develop, and as well as the interest of the tenant cultivators. So here after independence, the government has recognized the ill effects of the high rates of rent, arbitrary fixation of the rent, and the lack of security to tenure. So here all the state governments, what they have done, they enacted the laws. Why? To regularize the and fix the rent based on the fertility of the soil, and also to provide security to the tenure. So accordingly, the rent is fixed as 1/4 or the 1/5 of the total produce. The further landlord cannot evict the tenant as and when he desired. So if the landlord decides to start self-cultivation, he can evict the tenant from the land. But it was a very tough time for the farmers because a minimum size of holding for the tenant cultivator, which provides subsistence level of living to the tenure. And we can see the security to the tenure. Tenure plays a very important role in sustaining the fertility. So here in this contest now, they used to collect like what is that? We can see the author Young Sir, and also another economist also given a piece of fertile land to the tenant cultivator without any security. Then what is the use? If they are showing, if they are giving the security for the people, then they'll make some improvements on the land. If they are not giving the security, the suppose if they cultivate the land for 10 years or 15 years. Now, if they give the ownership rights, naturally what they'll do, they'll make some improvements in their lands. So that security was not there during those period. And the next we can see the land ceiling. So what is this land ceiling? Ceiling implies what? The maximum size of holding a family unit can have under the ownership. So how much? For they have fixed for dry areas and hilly areas. For those places, not dry land and other hilly places, the plantation crops, and for all those, na, they fixed the ceiling. Okay. So try to remember that ceiling implies what? The maximum size of holding a family unit can have under the ownership. Okay. So here if the ceiling is fixed, what happens? So those who have the excess land, they can, the government used to collect from the people and redistribute among the landless laborers. So here the land ceiling was also, because if they give the those lands, they'll have that fear. Why? Because will they pay the amount or not, or some they'll have the problem with the people because they'll not give. Because if they give, what is that? They used to consolidate and they used to get. Suppose if a farmer is having 4 acres of land, 1 acre east side and west and the north and the south. So if the consolidation under consolidation, you can remember that if the land is pooled, so a farmer can get 4 acres of land at one place only. So that some benefits they used to provide, but this is land ceiling was also, they used to face the difficulty of in land ceiling also. Okay. So here the land, you can remember the government distributes the land acquired through the declaring it the surplus. What is the surplus? They'll see the holdings and they'll fix a ceiling limit, and they identify the beneficiaries, particularly landless, poor, and also the agricultural laborers. So this is these were the issues under land reforms. And the next, you can see the next one. Now, just now we discussed about the consolidation of holdings. So here, the small size of holding acts as an obstacle in improving the yield per acre of various crops. So if we look at the structure of the land holdings in India, we can find about the 60% of the holdings are marginal and not conducive for scientific cultivation only. Okay, through using this modern inputs. Over time, due to inheritance of the rights under which everyone in the family used to, what is that? A breakdown of the joint family system and other things, it was there. Okay, the problem was there. And the land under the ownership of the family generally located at different places in the form of segregated pieces. Just now we said that north, east, and west, and south. Okay, so if it is scattered, under consolidation, the farmer, because it's a time waste, a person he has to go to the north and east and the west and the south, because he is having 4 acres at different places. It is scattered. So if it is scattered, what happens? He cannot maintain the time waste, and also he has to spend the money. So if the 4 acres of land, if the government gives at one place only, towards east or the west or the north, then what happens? You can make some improvements in their lands. So this, they have taken that program, the consolidation of land holding. So remember, with a view to improve the size of holdings by encouraging the farmers to mutually exchange staggered pieces of land and make it viable for scientific cultivation, the government introduced a consolidation of holding program as a part of the institutional reforms in agricultural sector. So according to this program, farmers possessing small pieces of land, if they have at different places, have to exchange mutually, they have to exchange it. Then only it is possible to get at one place. So the entire process is called as what? Consolidation of holdings. So even eventually we can see that ensure an increase in the size of holding of the farmer at a given place through viable for adopting the modern methods of cultivation among better supervision, and also the agricultural extension services also take place. So remember, though this program was conceived with the right spirit, the government failed in its effort to taste the success in terms of an increase in the size of holdings due to the, what is that? Rigid attitude. Some people, they don't want to give their lands. The psychological attachment of the farmers towards their piece of land, they are attached to that, they don't want to give for the consolidation purpose, because they'll have that fear, whether they'll get the same type or not. They'll have that fear. So though it is an inferior barren land and unscientific behavior of the farmers who are totally returned in the superstitious. So if we explain also, they will not understand and they will not give up their lands. Okay, so you can remember that consolidation of land holdings, the government has implemented, that it pools all the surplus land, not surplus land, which is scattered, okay, divided and the subdivided land holdings, which is scattered, you can remember, they'll get it one place only. That is nothing but the console. With that, they'll make some improvements. Okay. And the next we can see the evaluation of land reform program. How they have evaluated this program. So the government has initiated the land reform program with the objective to establish egalitarian society to equal distribution of land, because there is no equality. Inequalities are there. But in reality, the government failed miserably in achieving its stated objective. So, what are the reasons for the poor performance of land sealing program? So, you can remember first one, that is about the Binami transfers. To escape from land sealing laws, using the loopholes in land sealing laws, the owners, what they have done, they have transferred the ownership rights on the names of faithful servants, relatives. In fact, original owners enjoy the fruits from the land, whereas the Benami owners enjoy the ownership rights for name sake. So this they have evaluated the Benami transfers. And the lack of land records also. So during this bureaucratic red tapeism, what the apathy of the government officials, what proper records are not available to establish the land ownership, right? So in the absence of land records pertaining to ownership rights, it is not possible to apply the land sealing laws. And here we can say that, hence we cannot determine the surplus land owned by the landlords. So here the proper maintenance is not, the proper records are not. So during that, it is a problem for the people. The next we can see the evaluation part, that is a lack of political will. The political leaders generally they make all tall promises in open platforms, but when it comes to implement now, what they'll do, practically they drag their feet behind. They'll do it or not. So in the absence of strong commitment and the dedication on the part of political leaders, one cannot expect the attainment of stated objective behind imposing land sealing laws. Okay, this is also a point. Okay, then interference of judiciary. What is this? That is, in deciding ownership right leads to undue delay in implementing sealing laws effectively. Whenever there is a litigation or the suspicion or conflict of opinion between landowners and the government officials, either party generally approach court for justice. Generally, courts promise judgments. So after a prolonged hearing, the court will give the judgments. So unless the courts pronounce the judgment, the government officials cannot leap forward. So it depends. So here the interference of judiciary. So try to remember the evaluation of the land reform program, Benami transfers, lack of land records, lack of political will, then interference of judiciary. So these are the points you can remember in evaluation part. So what is a summary? First, you can remember the abolition of intermediaries, where we have to abolish because they used to collect huge rents from the farmers. And the land reforms, you have learned about the regulation of rent, then security to the tenure. They must give the security. As long as they cultivate the land, they must get the ownership rights. If they are not getting some benefits, what is the use of cultivating? Okay. And the conferment of the ownership rights, they must conform. If they cultivate for 10 years or 5 years, if they give the ownership rights to the farmers, naturally what they'll do, they'll make some improvements, and also with that the production also increases. Okay, the enactment of the land sealing laws also based on the types of crops, no, the ceiling was fixed by the government. Then accordingly they'll see what is that, roughly they'll see how many size, what is that total holdings, majority of the people size they'll see, and accordingly they'll fix it, whether 1.2 or 2 acres of land or 10 acres of land. So accordingly, if more than 10 acres, they'll see how many people are having less than 5 acres or like that, and the fixation was fixed by seeing the records. Okay, so that is about the whole summary of this land reforms. So you can remember that in this, the zemindars and Binami transfers, a critical look at the implementation of the measures which initiated by the government to restructure the institutional structure pertaining to agriculture sector, it reveals that it has failed to achieve the stated objectives. Okay, namely we can see the removing the inequalities in the land ownership and establishment of egalitarian society. So the reasons for poor performance of the measures which were initiated by the government, which was that is absence of proper records and Benami transfers to establish ownership rights, lack of political will to implement the sealing laws, and interference of judiciary. So the land to the tiller is to the greater extent we can say that it has remained as a myth in the agricultural sector. So try to remember the points in this land reforms. What are the main objectives and what are the issues? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.